to welcome Satya Nadella, CEO at Microsoft, to our first virtual top management meeting. Satya, we are experiencing breakthrough tectonic changes, not only due to the pandemic and post-pandemic world, but by the evolution of how we engage with each other. When you think about digital transformation of companies, what are the elements that should be must-haves? What are the lessons learned you see happening? What technologies would you see will have the bigger impact now and in the future?
First of all, thank you so much, Daniel. It's great to be with you today. I would say in the first phase of the pandemic, we were the digital first responders to all the first responders out there. In short, using the current generation of technology. In fact, I shudder to think what the world would have looked like and what the economic activity would have been, but for technologies like the cloud and Teams, which have helped us, whether it was the first-line health workers or critical retail and manufacturing, and all continuing to operate and having the level of productivity. Coming out of this pandemic, I think we're going to see real structural change, Daniel, which is driven obviously by consumer expectations changing as well as employee expectations. I mean, if you think about healthcare, pretty much any outpatient visit going forward will start with an AI triage tool and then a telemedicine visit, and then only will you go to an outpatient ward. Or in retail, contactless shopping will be the norm, and curbside pickup will be the norm. In manufacturing, lights out manufacturing. So in industry after industry, we are seeing real structural change. In fact, if I look at even Grupo Bimbo, how you have effectively connected every bakery or manufacturing lines using IoT and Power BI to give you that real-time feedback loop is pretty phenomenal, because that, I think, is going to both create resilience, visibility, as well as lights out manufacturing with capabilities like digital twins in the future. So this is the type of transformation that I think we're going to see at scale.
We're working nonstop to accelerate our transformation and be more connected in every possible way. We see this not only as a way to keep up, but more importantly, to be ahead. We're meeting our consumer expectations, but to be frank, we still have a way to go. Now, what trends are you seeing in the future of work? What challenges and opportunities are you seeing as people return to a hybrid workplace?
The key word here is going to be flexibility, because essentially when we say hybrid, and again, because of the expectations of our employees, they're going to expect more flexibility in terms of time, place, site. And I would say there are three main dimensions, at least, that we think that we will need to all work collectively to ensure that some of the best technology is available so that our employees can do their very best work. In collaboration, after all, work doesn't just happen in video meetings. Work happens before, during, and after. So having tools like Teams deployed at scale is going to be pretty critical. I know in Grupo Bimbo, in fact, you've done a fantastic job of even going beyond just Teams to be able to say, which you have done with first-line workers so that they can collaborate with knowledge workers. You even equip them with HoloLens in many cases so that you can have people who are remote, maybe engineers working with frontline workers. So that collaboration, I think, is fundamentally going to be transformed thanks to tools like Teams and HoloLens, but most importantly, the fact that knowledge workers and first-line workers are going to be able to collaborate. Learning is another aspect that is completely going to change, because after all, you want to make sure that as people are working we are being able to direct all the learning to the tools in which the content is best delivered. In fact, I know that at Grupo Bimbo, you have built a huge Power Apps competency, and it's being used everywhere to do next level of automation. You're building even these Power Virtual Agents to essentially transform and bring out the next level of efficiency across all business processes that are critical for you. So I think that domain experts and their own ability to learn new skills and then turn that into efficiency and firm performance is fantastic to see. And then the last dimension I would call out is well-being, right? One of the key things is to be able to use data again, for individual well-being, informing managers and leaders across the organization so that they can care for their employees and ensure that there is no burnout. And we don't narrowly define productivity, but we think about the overall productivity in a much more holistic way.
Satya, what you're saying is critical for us. In Grupo Bimbo, our frontline teams represent 3/4 of our total population. And beyond providing them with the digital tools with your help, we are connecting them to our digital ecosystem in order to take collaboration to the next level. Our people-first culture comes to life through our leaders. In that matter, what leadership principles have been critical to you as you lead through this pandemic and these challenging times?
That's a great question. During the pandemic and, definitely coming out of this pandemic, I think the three attributes that at least I look for in myself and in the leaders around me would be, the first thing is leaders have this uncanny ability to walk into a situation that is ambiguous and confusing and uncertain and bring clarity. That I think is one of the things that comes more naturally to leaders. It's important in times of uncertainty that clarity be brought. Second is leaders create energy, right? It's not about just saying I am good or my team is good, but you want to create enterprise-wide energy by bringing people together. In fact, going even across the enterprise to your customers, your suppliers, aligning teams and bringing energy is another aspect. And lastly, you don't sort of wait for perfect weather, right? After all, leaders are able to generate results, drive results, generate success, even in an over-constrained environment. So bringing clarity, driving energy, and success, I think are the three sets of things that I always look for in leaders.
Thank you so much, Satya, for your valuable insights. It is an honor to have you with us today. We're proud to be teaming up with Microsoft to make the world a better place, or as we like to say, to nourish a better world.
Thank you so much, Daniel, for having me. We are really thrilled to be partnered with you, and congratulations to you and the team for all of what transformation you're driving.